Yahoo! Prof here, and today I've got something special for you guys, which is why I might look a little bit crispy on the image compared to usual, because the got the Panasonic not G7 G85 out with some proper audio attire, and I thought we do something a bit better. So we got some in the old Yeti cozy here. We got some Canada Dry Bold, and so what happened here was kind of odd. Is I got offered a review sample. That's not the odd part, but how it happened was I got contacted through Heatware. And for those of you that don't have a Heatware account, and if you're in the keyboard community, get one. I got a review sample of it. That's not the only reason why, but what it can do is lend some credentials and credibility to you selling parts, especially if you... Yeah, so I was super pumped. I'm a huge fan of 60%. If you guys have been watching the channel, I've done stuff like multiple reviews on the Happy Hacking keyboard. It's like, how many do you need? But I really like that thing. And that was my second mechanical keyboard ever that I like personally owned. And then I've designed and built many 60% keyboards over the years. Docs, GH60, KMac Happy, to name a few. And I was involved with development of layouts and stuff like that. So let's get this guy over here and get the camera aimed down a bit, and we shall, we're just going to get you guys an unboxing and a first look. As I said, I'd have a video up on time. This product is launching September 22nd, 2021. So I'll have a link below for you guys in the description. Otherwise, it's Marvo, M-A-R-V-O, pro.com. And this kit specifically is the Undefined 61. When I was first sent the info, that was the only stuff up on their website, but they do now have a couple of key sets you can buy independently or with it at a discount. And it looks like right now it's going for $150. I don't know if that's the current price. I might be able to clarify that in a follow-up video, which you guys should subscribe for. Because I will be doing a build with the keyboard and different sets of switches. This is Cherry MX and Cherry MX knockoff compatible. But originally when I saw this kit, it was $200. So that's just something to be aware of. Right now it's at $150. Hopefully it stays there, because that is a fairly competitive price from what I've seen in the market. I have been out for a while, but I also know a lot of people in that area there. So let's get you guys taking a look at this keyboard. I did order, thanks to you guys as well, to go with this. I ordered 2 sets of key switches. And that is because you guys use my Amazon affiliate code, and then I get some affiliate revenue. And I do appreciate that. Any of the links that you see down there, not for Marvo. They have not given me anything or paid me anything for this review. I was just super pumped to review a new product and a new brand entering the market. And, if I can lend them any of my knowledge, I'll gladly do so. Just like if there's stuff that you guys like, don't like, that sort of stuff, please throw it down below in the comments. I definitely have a direct line to share it. They are looking to do more stuff with creators, like co-branding, and more products as well. And yes, my head is going to be cut off because you're here to see the product, not me. So what the affiliate revenue actually allowed me to do is I managed to get some Box Royals, Gateron Cap Gold V2 Milky Yellows. So I wanted something that was the full translucent, because this is a RGB keyboard. I wanted something that has the full translucent. This is compatible with PCB mount switches, or as apparently they call them now, 5-pin. I know I'm going to sound like I'm not like Yeah, back when I did this, we just had PCB and plate mount. And I don't get how the middle stub that the stem goes down into is considered a pin. That seems very, very odd to me. So, what utensil should be used for cracking open this keyboard? Oh, and they did also send over keycaps. That is an option. You can order keycaps with the kit if you want on their website. Otherwise, you can also use any of your own. It's Cherry Max compatible. Box switches work. That's why I wanted to do, like, I have a ton of Cherry Max. I have a couple of RGBs extra that I can try out. I got some, I think some silence, some reds and some browns, maybe something like that. I'll have to go dig those up maybe for a following video. And then otherwise I wanted to try some of the newer, like, I call them knockoff Cherry Max, but you know like alternate Cherry Max, like what fits where a Cherry Max would. And I like Kailh's when it comes to my mice, so I tried, you know, I think they're Crystal Box Royal or Crystal Box switches are the highest end ones. There we go. We got so they wrapped it in, I don't know if this is standard or not, you know, like how it would normally come. Pretty normal for China shipping. A lot of times they'll just take the products box, wrap it in saran wrap, maybe put a couple layers of bubble wrap on there and then ship it out. Like, it's in a box already, why bother with a box? And I actually am not against that. In this case, we look to have some sort of plastic over it. That, to me, that sounds like keycaps. I think you guys would have to agree there. And hopefully I sound half decent. I'm using the Rode Lab that I've used in plenty of previous videos. Lately I've been shooting on the RX0 II though, just because it's handy. But I thought for something like this we should do a bit better of production quality, you know? Slice this guy open. Yeah, to me that looks like keycaps. Always put your slicey boy away. Ooh! And of the keycaps they had at the time, you'll see this is called the Undefined 61. It is a 60% keyboard. We'll see once we get it open how that's laid out, but most of the keycaps that were available to me were flat. They were like conical, flat keycaps, like flat. I call it flat cylindrical DSA style. I made sure to get one of the few packs that they had of keycaps that was sculpted. So that means they're angled, like different rows are different heights. So let's take a look at this keyboard first. Keyboard kit, I should say. This is something you will have to assemble. There we go. They do have a Discord, it looks like. Like I said, Marvo DIY. The website's Marvo Pro. They do have non-DIY products, and that's what you'll mainly find in the like Pro branding. So we have here the actual keyboard, plate, and PCB. Then right here we have a braided cable, and it is USB-C. Just USB 2.0C, but it is at least USB-C. In here is also two kinds of keycap pullers. Let's pull those out. Neither are very good. It looks like there would also be room here, right there, for 2 additional things. Those almost look like they could fit the key pullers. Maybe they just didn't put them in there. Yeah, that kind of looks like it would fit the key puller. I don't know if that's where that was initially supposed to go or what. But, you know, I like inspecting packaging. You can also tell that this is a modified package. This may or may not be like yours. Like mine's just a brown box. There is nothing on it saying what kit it is or what kit it isn't. Could be, you know, like I'm reviewing this before the product is out. That's how you guys are getting this, or not even reviewing it, taking a look at it before it's out. That's how you guys are getting this on release day. Ooh. So we have an aluminum casing here. Aluminum casing. And then we have a white plate. That to me looks powder coat. I might be wrong, but it's kind of got that peeled surface, like not orange peel, but like kind of like that rough surface that you'll see on computer cases. And then they did do, and this is something I was worried about because I can go find my OLKB Prionic. And what happened is they only had the little, even smaller nubs than it did down here. And then it would be flat. So this, the back ones are slightly raised. Personally, I would prefer it a little bit more, but at least it has some incline. Because a lot of these more simplistic aluminum, just standard aluminum cased frames here, cases for their keyboards, are just, they're just flat on the bottom. And some of them don't even come with feet. You gotta apply your own feet. And that is how I got around it on the Prionic. But yeah, and you can see there's SMD mounted LEDs down below there. And realistically, because this does have the hot swap sockets, I should be able just to go ham because it's hot swap with quote 5-pin, which means PCB. You have the 2 legs on the side for a PCB mount, even though it's a plate mount, which I personally like to see. We should be able to just make sure you have them going the right direction, and voila, we're in. Oh, now that I think about it, I bet you I know what this is. This is probably a switch puller. Because how are you getting those out? Oh! I may have cut that down, but hopefully you could hear that pop. These take some effort to get out, and maybe that is because, well, A, I'm not used to hot swap switches. When I was last building these, where I was wondering, they had just invented the idea of doing that. And you would actually solder in, I should probably look up what they're called, but they're basically little tubes that these feet go into. You'd solder those in from the backside, and then your this would go into that. So that's how it grabbed it. Now there's these little, I think Kailh makes them, some other brands probably make them as well, where there's little like things that get soldered on the back of the PCB that actually grip it on the back side of the PCB. And you can see them poking up through the holes. Whereas the other ones, you could modify a non-hot swap board to use it. Like these are using pre-made, or like that, where the PCB is designed to be hot swap. Let's try another. Okay, that's in there now. It's a different hole. Maybe it's just because it was this first time using this switch too. But I definitely had to put, yeah. I was going a bit light because, you know, it's my first time messing with this keyboard. You don't want to break it. Too much force is usually the wrong amount of force. And you don't want to break a brand new product that you're reviewing. That is unwise, you know? Unwise. So I don't think in this video I'm going to be able to take this apart for you guys. But in my full review, where after I use it for a while, I have no problem doing that as well. Because to me, this layout looks pretty darn similar to poker. Here is a docks, which this actually ended up having a GH60 PCB. Docks was a project that was started actually by the guy who made the original Ergo docks. Then later on we adopted the project to make a 60% with LED backlighting. It was originally only going to be red because you can fit 2 LEDs in 5-volt, and wiring it up became much easier rather than worrying about having to wire up each individual LED to power. you could just do 2 at a time. But yeah, so this is how far back I go. You know what I mean? And if you guys look at the GH60, one of the original layouts for it is mine. I think it's under Prof or the Prof Assist. And that is this was adopted from the Phantom PCB. And what it is, it actually adopts a short right shift and then the short left shift of an ISO, so you have function on both sides. That is a bit of a thing to get used to. And then it has a very small return key, a little bit used to getting that because it does take advantage of that extra ISO key that you get as well right there. But that means you have a much closer group of, if you want like an inverted T arrow key set, rather than if you had to go with, say, a happy hacking keyboard, which is left, right, up, down. You can have a, so this allowed that sort of thing. But that's how far back this goes. And all right, just for reference, I did run and grab. Here is something that I would say is designed very similarly. And here's where that is an OLKB plank. I believe this is a V2 because it's the orange one off of Mass Drop. I believe the V3 is purple. I'm trying to remember that correctly. I do have an alternate set of keys. If you notice, that is what I mean by sculpted. They are different heights, and then the tops are, you know, angled. I actually super duper like typing on this keyboard. This has lubed. It does not have O-rings on it, but lubed CW&T clear Ergo Clears, 62 gram. Super nice keyboard to type on. My big issue, and actually layout-wise, because of the ortholinear design, the non-staggered keys, it was actually a better layout than a standard keyboard. However, I type on one of these all the time on a laptop, you know, like a standard QWERTY layout. So this, once I got good at it, really killed my typing on a QWERTY keyboard. So I had to put it away, even though I really like the like how this little guy feels nice and stiff. But yeah, the reason why I had to get this out is it's very close in kind of, you know, like your basic aluminum shell. Now here's something I can show you is originally this came with just these little rubber nubbins. The ones I had some bigger ones down here, but they came off. And I added some nice, I double stacked some feet on the back there. I thought white turned out okay. Double stacked some rubber feet there, and then I got a nice angle to it. You know, it's about angled like that. And that's with some sculpted keycaps. That was, I gotta put some, the rubber feet came off on the front there. I gotta put some on there, but that gave it a nice angle with those sculpted keycaps. That's why I said it was really nice to see that they put a bigger foot on the back than the front, and they're nice soft rubber. These are a little bit harder because I think these are for like door stops or chairs, or I got them at a local Trilling. Trilling Hardware, very old school. We have one of those left around here, and they carry all kinds of that little stuff. But Ishtobe over at who now works for OLKB, but he was the one that was helping me with development of the docks, which predated GH60. Basically, docks got pulled into the GH60 project because they were doing what we were doing and had already done, and more. So we had a couple like prototypes made. Obviously, I had keycaps even made because that says docks on it, and I didn't feel like I should. That just, you know, keeps some OG flair on here, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely into this 60% form factor. So that's why I was super happy that MARVODY reached out to me. And like I said, at 150 for the kit, no keycaps, no switches, I felt that it's a pretty good price. You guys can comment on that down below for what you think. But even based on like pre-orders, Mass Drop, at $200 price, that was a bit hefty. But at the 150 that's currently on the site as I'm doing this unboxing for you guys, very well priced. If you're running this, just uses a standard poker, because that was one of the early 60% keyboards that was CW&T. Poker X. That's why a lot of PCBs still use the poker mounting layout, and that's what I'm interested to see with this once we really get down into it, to see if it also does, because it kind of has a similar pattern from my memory here. Before I go on a bit more, I did ask if there were, because usually there are with brands that send stuff for review. Heck, I even had a thing for the... I really need a smaller mic pack, guys. I'm using a Zoom H4n, and I only use it for my lab. Yeah. On that note, though, but brands usually have some features that even if you're doing an impartial review like I am here, there are some features that they want you to focus on, or not focus on, but like make sure are mentioned, because this is what they think is good about their product. In this case, since they're a new brand, I don't know how long they've been around in this sort of thing. They didn't necessarily provide that for me out of the gate, but I did ask for it because I want to make sure I'm showing you guys what they want you to see. Not that I can't comment on other things, but these are the features that they think in their product are good, or what they aim to meet, that sort of stuff. Because if you're reviewing an MMO mouse with how good it is at FPS, that's not the point of it. You know, you can do it anyway, but I like to feature what, if I can, if they give me that, at least give you an idea of where the brand intended this to hit in the market, or what they intended the use for to be. They're saying individually machined, has some noticeable heft, I will say that, yep. So what they want to feature here is that each one of these is individually machined out. And I would say it's finished pretty well. I haven't gotten it down to like the PCB and the plate out yet. Hopefully next video you'll see that, just so we can take another look. But otherwise, the outside finish on here is pretty darn good, I would say. Like, there's no obvious milling marks. Compatible with G-Switch, Box Switch, Cherry MX, and other 3-foot and 5-foot switches. And because it is hot swappable, as we just showed earlier, you don't need to solder, especially for a beginner, or if you don't know. Like, I know I really like ergo clears, but I also haven't really tried too many of these off brands now. Like your, let's take a look at here. We haven't opened the Gaterons here, and these are actually the more budget ones, I was told, which is good for me because it was like less than 15 bucks for each pack. And you needed 2 packs for this 60% keyboard here. And I can try all these new ones in this guy, and I like a 60%, and it's programmable, so I can program it similarly to how I have my new Happy Hacking Hybrid programmed at work and at home, because I got 2 of those, one for home and work. Finally have that. Super nice to do. Allows you to macros and customize any of the RGB colors using their software. I don't know if you can use alternate software. I haven't even got my hands on the software yet because we're not there yet. This is just a initial thing here. Yeah, lighting effects, brightness, macros, all fully controllable. In this case, I'll remap the layout to be something more similar to what I am used to. These are the Kailh Box Crystal Royales. And then these are the not included. These I ordered, once again, thanks to you guys that watch. Because of the Amazon affiliate code, I was able to order both sets of these switches. I think the box Royals were a bit over 40 bucks, and these were under 30 for both sets of these. They're Gateron Cap Gold Milky Yellow V2s. So those should be the most up-to-date Cap series switches. And they're a linear switch. And then what makes them unique, and I was talking to the Manic Geek, shout out to him. He's been getting really into keyboards recently. And I can help with the older stuff, but obviously a lot of Cherry lost their patent. So a lot of stuff has, I wouldn't say changed. There's just a lot more options than there used to be. Ooh, that snapped in real nice. So if you like linears, these Cap Golds seem quite nice. A little bit heavier than a like a red, because reds are far too light for me. I wouldn't say it's as heavy as a black switch. But the other thing that was mentioned to me is the Cap Golds they have an extended spring Oh, these come out way easier. Way easier. Highly recommended. I mean, it depends what you want, though. I can tell you why this is probably easier to or harder to take out the Crystal Box Royal. This crystal, what makes it so clear and bright, it's probably like an acrylic, rather than this Milky is a softer, probably closer to a nylon. I'm not saying it's nylon, but closer to that, which has a bit more flex to it. And that's why this, it's more brittle and it's gonna be tighter. Because I'm a tactile person and I like tactile switches, because we need to get these on there and actually do a run of the keyboard here. One. So, all right, so after getting this guy all full of switches here, so what do we need now for this keyboard? What we need now is keycaps. And luckily, or nicely, I should say, not luckily, I have plenty of keycaps, but MARVODY sent a set. And of the ones they had available at the time of me, or them asking me to do the review, this was the set I picked. I believe this is their camping set. Reminds me of a couple older sets. Not Amazing Chocolatier, that's a very brown set though as well. This has more of that like light cream color in there. Let's take a look here at, I don't know, like an F4 and see if this is, that is not the double shot. What about this F3? These are die sub, and they're either palm or PBT. These are now on the website. When I was originally looking, this camping set was not on there. And here's what I mean. They're all cream colored, but then they're like maroon on top or whatever, or green. So that means that they're all dyed, which dye sub is a very durable way to do lettering. It's not something it's gonna just come off. But I would not say durability wise, like it has a very nice texture to it because it's PBT or palm. They're basically full dyeing this here and then just not dyeing where the camping stuff is, which is kind of, I don't know if I've ever seen that done that way, so it's kind of interesting. Here is the kind of keycap puller I would recommend. Comes with the set. I did, while I was looking through the website there, I did find out if you buy a key set with the keyboard, you get 10% off. You have it right. In this case, so it's not upside down for you guys, I will flip it in post. All right, we've got her done. Here is the camping set from MARVODY. It's marvopro.com, I do believe. I'll link down in the description if I don't yell at me. I think it actually turned out looking really good. We mostly got a cream and green with a maroon accent. And I think it looks pretty darn nice. Now we will flip her around here so I can get you guys, I'll get up nice and close like, and raise our volume. On 20 right now, we're gonna go up to 50. Here's 50, you can probably hear more background noise. Here's me talking at 50, typing. Here you go, this is a test. This is me talking. You kind of hear the, and this is on very tactile switches. I'm also not really used to it, so here's a bottom out on the space bar, backspace, enter, shift, left shift, escape, So it's very sharp. It feels nice and tight because of the aluminum. It's got some nice sharp sounding, and because of the tactile switches. I guess I really should have showed you guys the RGB on these royal crystals before I covered them up with these non-RGB keycaps. Well, Prof here, the following night at the editing station, as you can see, and I noticed that I forgot to put in an outro, so we're recording that now. You'll see a future video on me toying around with the software, as well as testing to make sure all the keys work and stuff like that. So watch out for a future video, hit that subscribe button. And once again, I wanted to thank MARVODY for sending this over for review. I edited this whole video while using it, and these box royals are super tactile. Not that they sent those, but it's definitely going to take a bit of getting used to, and my layout will take a little bit more tweaking. But I think it's a really nice 60% fully customizable keyboard, and something that is super easy for you guys that are early into your keyboard building, that want something very quick and easy, and want to try out a whole bunch of switches. This is a good board to try it on. Back in my day, when you wanted to try different switches, you bought a used board. That way, when you know you knew if you didn't like it, you could just resell it and maybe be out shipping. To be truthful, if you did it right, you'd actually make money. Now you just buy some switches, and especially those Gateron cap gold V2 yellow whatchamacallits, those are dirt cheap. Getting switches under $1 a switch when you're buying them separately used to be like pretty darn good when you weren't part of a group buy especially. So that is dirt cheap. RGB LEDs were working well. I do have some concerns with the software, but it does seem pretty early. So it's just a bit restrictive, I think, on how it's doing things. And otherwise, I'd say check it out. Please hit me up down below if you have any comments. And it sounds like, as I did get an email before recording this end piece, that if you do have any questions, Discord seems to be the quickest and best way to be a part of their community. Ask questions directly to them. Otherwise, as always, I have it down here. It's on my desk right now, and it'll be there for quite some time as I do some testing, and that way I can do, a follow-up video on it with my thoughts. You'll also see some behind-the-scenes videos as well as that software video for at least the launch version. So please hit subscribe if you want to check out any of that content. Throw a like on the video if you liked it. Share it if you know anybody that might be interested. And hopefully we'll see you in the future videos. Guys, have a good one. Peace.